July 21st, 2016. From El Cajon, California, this is episode 104 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. My name is Mark Duvall, and sitting across from me is Dr. Mike.
Hello.
Okay, so free buy bets are back at Downtown Grand.
Yes.
We have established that.
We know for sure that's the case.
Now, Barry, who runs the Craps Facebook group, he was playing at Downtown Grand. He was talking to a supervisor. A supervisor told him that they also have free buy bets at the Flamingo and the Cromwell.
Now, that would kind of sound right because it's a supervisor telling you that.
Yeah.
But from the standpoint of it's a Caesars Properties, two of them having free buy bets, I don't know.
I'm pretty skeptical, and we kind of put the word out there. If anybody happens to play there, please verify that for us. And we still haven't gotten any verification. So the word is still out. If you're listening to this and you happen to play at Cromwell or Flamingo, let us know if they are taking free buy bets on the 4 and 10.
I'll tell you, if that's the case, if the Cromwell has 100 times odds and free buy bets on the 4 and 10,
yeah.
It's by far and away the best place in the country to play craps.
I mean, right now it probably is, even with the rules that they do have. They have put bets and everything, and but yeah, if they have free buy bets, that would be the
how much
best
better
place.
does it get?
Yeah. Well, I hope that's the case. And when it started at Downtown Grand, that was what we were hoping for, is that somehow it would spread at least a little bit. And
well, I'll tell you what, if enough casinos did it, it would become standard. Right?
Sure, just
it's like when they didn't collect the VIG until you hit it.
Exactly.
That kind of became standard in Vegas because everyone was doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, now it may just be free buy bets.
Hope so. I'm still skeptical, though, but if we can get some verification, that would be great. So let us know. So this last weekend, we went to Harrah's, Southern California, like we usually do, and we met up with listeners Chris and Megan.
Yeah, they're from the L.A. area,
and it's
Orange County area, I should say.
I had a lot of trouble figuring out why they were there. You had no trouble. I don't know why this was so hard for me to understand.
It was lost to you.
But I guess it was part of some kind of junket thing that they had bought as a fundraiser for soccer kids?
It was for a kids fundraiser.
Okay.
And they had bought the tickets, so they basically paid money to have a bus take them from Orange County to Harrah's for the night.
Yeah, okay.
And then it took them back at like 2 a.m.
That same night.
Which I thought was like pretty late.
Yeah, I was all confused. I thought maybe they had a room there. At first, I thought that the fundraiser was at the casino. I don't know why I was so messed up. But
well, now they live in Orange County.
Yeah.
So from Orange County to Harrah's there, it's an hour and a half
It's
drive.
Not too bad, yeah.
It's not too bad. I would have thought they would have got there like at 5 in the afternoon and stayed till like 11 or something, right?
Yeah.
Then you get home by 12:30, but the bus left at 2 a.m. and
to take them home.
Take them home, and they were playing craps with us at 1 a.m. or
12:30. No. All right, here's what happened, everybody. Despite what Dr. Mike's saying,
weren't they playing craps with us after 12?
No. They played craps with us, and then they went to get something to eat,
right?
And then they went and played blackjack.
Oh, they were playing blackjack.
Yeah, remember
they were still there.
They were still at the casino,
there,
just not playing with. This just happened last week. How can you not remember that?
So much has happened since Saturday.
We were pretty obnoxious when they were there, or at least I was.
Yeah, I don't know that I was at all.
It was because we were winning. When we changed tables, so there's a little more room. We were at a $10 table.
We were winning at that table, but when they came up, it was starting to get cool.
Yes.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it was getting cooler.
Yeah, so we moved over to $10 table, and it actually started out great.
Yeah, it started off really good.
They bought in for like $100, and they doubled their money, and it looked like it was going well, and then it kind of went sour again.
Right.
But yeah, they went and got something to eat, and then they played blackjack. Anyways, great meeting them.
Yes, very nice couple.
But yeah, after they left, at the craps table, after they left to go get something to eat, it did get pretty cold at this table.
It got really cold for a good half hour, 45 minutes.
And I want to say something. You were down a ton.
Yeah.
You were down a lot of money, whereas I was up maybe $20.
Right.
Not much, but I mean, you were really down.
Well, we were playing quite different.
Well, I mean, this kind of is an example. On our last episode, Will had called in. He was asking for tips on how to stay disciplined at the table. this is kind of a good example. I am very disciplined, and I was up a little bit. You are not as disciplined. I mean,
you
you're
were
there to have
babying
fun.
your win from the other tables. What you were doing?
No, I was
still playing the same way I played on the other table. I didn't change the way I played.
Well, I was too. But the only difference was I wasn't taking full odds because the first table was the first table was a $5 table, and this was a $10 table.
Right.
So I was putting the same amount of money out for odds. Right. I just wasn't taking full odds. Right. But anyway, this is good. If you want to know how to stay disciplined, just look at this example of how we were playing at the same tables. I was up a little, and you were down a ton.
Yeah. So what was the end result?
Well, you came back big time. It was an amazing comeback. And when you came back to eke out a modest win, and I went crazy. I mean, I won a ton.
Right.
Because, the
you won
table
more
definitely
than
turned.
you usually do.
Oh, absolutely.
And I still ended up winning a fairly good amount.
Yep.
Which is unusual for the two of us. That combination rarely happens.
That is true. That's very rare.
Because it's usually either you win and I lose.
Yes.
Or we both win a lot.
Yes.
Or we both win just a little.
Yes.
It's very seldom that
I win quite a bit and you win a little bit. Yeah, that is. It's just kind of the way that it went.
I had a ways to come back, but I was able to come back.
Well, it's funny because you did have a ways to come back and it was getting late.
You're right.
And I thought, well, this is probably going to be the last shooter. So I did get more aggressive at the end. My timing was perfect. Right.
Yeah,
Suddenly I was taking full odds. And,
right. Then the last shooter had a monster roll and we left right after his roll.
Yeah, we did.
It's not going to get any better than that.
Yeah. So I'm glad we got out of there when we did.
It's funny, though, that it was the guy that was the last shooter. He's a regular there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be judgmental, but he's a little annoying.
He's annoying. He's one of those players, we've talked about it before, where he waits until the dice have been pushed to him before he makes bets.
Yeah, he's shooting the dice, and the dice will be shot to him, and then he starts making bets.
Yeah, and does he do it consciously? Is it deliberate? I don't know, but it's consistent. Yeah. And
even the dealers roll their eyes. Yeah. But anyway, he had a monster roll, so thank God for that.
Yeah. All right, last episode we talked about this spring tier credit bonus that Total Rewards was offering, and they did, in fact, this last Friday on July 15th, they did credit players' accounts with this bonus offer. Mike, you got yours, I got mine.
Right, my dad got his, I believe.
Oh, good, okay.
He said he noticed a bump.
And it was just like we thought it was going to be. You got the max of 25,000. I got a little over 8,000 in tier credit points. So, folks, if you have not received that bonus and you think you should have, you should contact Total Rewards because supposedly all the players' accounts have already been credited.
Yeah, I wonder how many people that really impacts.
I don't know. Again, because it was something you had to opt in for online. They did not advertise it much. No. So I'm sure a lot of Total Rewards members didn't even know about it.
Right, especially older people without maybe, internet access or, not real familiar with the internet.
Yeah, and you were mentioning on the last episode that they contacted us via email with this offer, but one of the things you had to do when you opt in was provide an email address. So right. I don't know exactly what happened there.
Worked,
yeah. On the July 7th episode of Gambling with an Edge, they talked about an article in the New York Times Magazine dealing with an advantage play that James Grosjean and Richard Munchkin ran at an Oklahoma casino where they play card craps. I'll post a link to the article. But basically what they did was they took advantage of some deficiencies in the automatic shuffle machines.
Which is unusual because the whole reason they have automatic shuffle machines is to take away inconsistencies.
That's right.
That might develop with a dealer, shuffling a certain way or having a certain nuance that is unique to that dealer. So they get an automatic shuffle machine so there can be no discrepancies, no changes.
Right.
And here it is. That doesn't work.
Yeah. Well, what they noticed was that, first of all, let me explain how the game worked here. And this is pretty common with card craps. They had two shuffle machines that would each shuffle cards numbered ace through 6 to represent the 6 sides of the dice. Right. So they'd have 2 sets of these 6 cards and 2 shuffle machines, and they just put these cards in the shuffle machines and then take them out and, turn up the first card or however, and that would mimic the roll of the dice. Well, what they noticed was, number one, when the dealers were placing the cards into the shuffle machines, they weren't doing a manual shuffle at all. A lot of times you'll see, the dealers will kind of, wash the cards a little bit or mix them up before they put them in the machine.
Right.
And apparently these machines had a deficiency where, and I might get this a little wrong, but like the bottom two cards that are put into the machine are less likely to be the card that comes up on the next shuffle. So if you could see what, say, the bottom two cards were on each side, you'd know that, okay, those numbers are a little less likely to come up.
Right.
So basically, Grosjean would signal to Richard Munchkin, what cards were less likely to come up, and then Munchkin would very quickly, I want to be off on my 4 and 5, and I want to, hop the aces, and he would move stuff around, so he was actually making the dealers work quite a bit.
Right.
But they took advantage of this oversight on the part of the casino and took them for quite a bit of money.
Or if you knew that aces were down there or sixes or something, there's not going to be a 12.
Yes, right, exactly. Yeah, based on that, some of the...
Would that help you with a 7?
Well, no, but see, it doesn't matter because if you know that, for example, a 6, just as an extreme example, a 6 is absolutely not going to come up on the dice.
Less likely to get a 9, a 10.
Right.
A little less likely to get an 8.
Right. More likely to get, aces, ace, deuce, any of those lower numbers. Right. So over time, that's a huge shift in the possibility of rolls, quote unquote, that could come up. So and it's not guaranteed. If you read the article, they were down quite a bit of money at some point. Just because you have an edge doesn't mean you're going to win every time. Right. So but in the long run, it definitely helps out. Anyway, the article is very good. I'll post a link to it so everybody can go read it.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, when you're going to buy something through Amazon, go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link at the top of the page. That way, when you make a purchase, we get a little kickback that helps cover the costs of hosting the show, and it doesn't cost you a thing. You'll pay the same price just like normal. All right, let's go to our voicemail hotline. Remember, call our hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
And maybe we'll play your clip on the show. First call.
Hey guys, Bish Yoda here from a little north of you in Lake Elsinore, California. Love the podcast, and I like it so much I actually went back to the beginning, and I've been listening from episode 1 forward while I wait for the new episodes to come out. Just finished listening to episode number 16 from March 30th of 2013. You guys were discussing the fire bet, specifically a 6-point fire bet, and based upon the odds of it hitting and the amount of play that you guys do in craps, you thought that statistically by July 4th of 2016, you should be involved in hitting one. So obviously I've got some episodes to catch up on. You may have discussed it, but I was just curious as July 4th of 2016 just passed. So like I said, love the podcast. Look forward to hearing if you guys were actually able to reach your goal. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, a couple other new listeners also contacted us. They had listened to early episodes and were curious about that. I had forgotten that date, the specific date that we had given.
Yeah, I didn't remember the date.
Yeah,
either.
but so yeah, I guess back on that episode, we calculated that, well, we better hit that fire bet by July 4th, 2016, and that time has passed. And of course, longtime listeners know that we did in fact hit the fire bet way earlier than we would have expected.
Way earlier, thanks to your roll. Mark Roll did. On his 52nd birthday.
Yep. On my birthday in Las Vegas at the same craps table at Caesar's Palace where we hit all those fours that one time.
Right.
But yeah, we did it. Go back to episode 58 for all the details. But
I'll
we
tell
did.
You what,
we
that
did do
table. If we had to list one table that has been the luckiest for us, or that we've won the most money on, it's by far and away that table. I mean, how many people can actually say that they know the exact table that they've won the most money game?
Yeah, unless they only play at one table all the time. That would be it.
Because most people, they move around a lot. If you're a gambler like us, if you're a frequent gambler, you've played at a lot of different tables. And, it'd be hard to say, well, yeah, maybe this table, that table. But we know far and away we've won the most money on that table.
Yep. Well, close to $20,000 on the 4 for each of us. And then $10,000 each for the fire bet. So, that's probably we're ahead at that table.
I think we're ahead at that table for sure.
All right, let's hear from Todd.
Hey guys, Todd from Minnesota. I've called in a few times. I think you know me by now.
I'm like you. I mostly play craps and some video poker. But on your last show, I heard you guys railing about your friend getting dealt a royal flush at the airport. I agree with you. The machines at the airport are very tight. But I've got a tip for you, just because you're my favorite San Diego-based gambling podcast. My wife has her lucky machine at the airport. This thing literally spits out money. I'm not kidding. I guess it's closest to gate about D31. There's like a Coach handbag store, one of those gift shops that they sell coffee mugs, keychains, other junk. Anyway, it's kind of a nondescript looking machine. It's just plain gray. It's not video poker or a real slot machine, anything like that. Anyway, I think my wife is a perfect 6 for 6, maybe 7 for 7 on this machine. She'll walk up with maybe $25 in her purse. I'm standing there like, did I remember to pack my sunglasses? Anyway, a few seconds later, my wife will scream out, I won! And she's instantly up like plus 300 each time. So anyway, the machine, it's got a red and yellow stagecoach on the front of it. It's labeled Wells Fargo. There's a sign above it. It says ATM. That's how you can find it. It literally spits out money. Hope it's a good tip for you guys too. Thanks for the show. Love to hear more later.
Okay, good. So don't tell anybody.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about this ATM.
Yeah, this ATM slot machine. Good. So a little inside information, a little secret information for listeners. We are rarely in the D gates.
Yes.
We fly Southwest, so we almost always are flying into and out of the C gates. Although on our last trip, for whatever reason, we got there at a D gate when we arrived. Remember, we were at the D gates
right. and we were both kind of like confused.
Yeah, this never happened.
Where are we now?
But anyway, check out this machine. Good luck to you. It's just, especially if you're leaving, you've had a big loss, head on over there. Probably recoup all your losses.
Right. Yeah. Go home a winner. And if you're a guy going back home to your wife, that's a perfect place to stop.
That's right.
So when you get home, look, I won.
Yeah, it was a good trip. All right, let's go on to the next call. On a previous episode, we had talked about a football pool where what you do is you get together with some friends and everybody draws teams. Say there are 4 of you in this pool. You each draw like 8 teams, right? 8 unique teams in the NFL season. And you throw money into this kitty. And if your team scores exactly 33 points, then you win the pot. And most weeks there will be no winner because 33 is kind of a hard score to get to in
it takes
NFL
weird
football.
Combinations.
Yeah.
Usually odd things have to happen.
Right. So, maybe if nobody wins this week, you put a little more money into the pot so it grows and what have you. And then once somebody gets their team scores exactly 33, they get the pot. Well, when you're playing this, it's very common to end the season and not have a winner. Or, maybe somebody won in week 7 and then you started over again. But at the end of week 17, you've got a bunch of money just left over.
Sure.
Right. So we got a suggestion on how to deal with this leftover money.
Hey, amigos. I was sitting here and I was listening to the back episode. Y'all were talking about the bet y'all make on y'all's football teams where they have to win 33 points for 33 points. And I guess that person got the pot. You said that, if nobody got 33 points at the end of the year, some things to do with the money. I think you should take it to the casino, put it all on the horn high yo. And I think that'd be a good bet.
I like that.
Yeah, and then what you could do is just say, okay, put it on horn high yo, and then just give everybody their money back. Well, out of the winnings, right? So everybody wins.
Right. So everybody wins.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's good.
So I called before. I was the guy who accidentally put my hands on the table. I couldn't believe it. I was on episode 100. Man, we got a lot of crazy things going on down here in Texas, and it's just been bad as far as all the shootings and stuff and the racism. But man, we hang out in the casino so much that there's no racism in there. Man, you walk in there and you're elbow to elbow with every race. You go to that craps table, man, there ain't nobody worried about racism. We're just looking for that high yo. All right, amigos. Hope to hear back from y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, craps, bringing people together.
I'll tell you what. Now, my wife and I were exactly talking about this right after the shootings in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
And I was saying, hey, you go to a casino, pretty much everyone's happy. I mean, some people are sad because they lost or they're upset because they lost.
Yes.
But most people are pretty happy, and you don't care who's next to you. It's just like we said at the beginning of this episode. I do not like that guy.
Yeah.
But he had a great role. He was my best friend on Friday night.
That's right. Yeah, you tipped him afterwards.
I tipped
know.
him
Yeah.
afterwards. I mean, he had such a good role.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I don't have anything against him. I just, he
he's
annoys
just,
me.
yeah, right.
So I'd rather not play in the table with him, but he has a good role. He's my best buddy.
Yeah.
And there is no racism on a craps table.
yeah.
I don't care who you are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the news has been so bad. As some other podcasts have mentioned it too, right? The news has just been so terrible the last few weeks. And
it has been terrible.
certainly, going to the casino is a nice way to escape all of this.
Well, one good thing when we're at a casino, we're usually, you and I anyway, are usually happy.
Yes.
We're having fun.
Yes.
Even losing. Even when we were losing, we weren't like, we were complaining about losing, but
course.
we're not disenchanted or we're not.
No, we didn't think, oh God, why did we go to the casino? Because, that happens.
We have never said that. I don't think we've ever said going home, God, why did we go?
We have never said that. We have never said that. Yeah.
Because we know why we go.
That's right. Right. All right. Let's hear a trip report from Brian.
Hi, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Brian from Wichita. Hey, you guys found your podcast and rekindled my love for craps. Got a trip report from my last trip in May and actually hit a fire bet at the Cromwell, and that was something new. I hadn't been to Vegas in a while, and I'd been listening to you guys about it. Hit a 5-number fire bet. Of course, I had a whole $1 on the fire bet, so the $250 was nice, but sure would have been nice, a little more exciting if I had $5 or $10 on it. Of course, that last number was a 6, and those 6s were so hard to hit. I pretty much knew there was no chance of getting that last number. Played at the Golden Gate. That's where I learned how to play craps, and they are still the best. Those dealers are awesome. At one point, we had a really hot roll at the table. But as it cooled down, people started to leave, and there was only a couple of us left. And I actually had a box man kind of suggest that I kind of take my winnings and come back later. And first, that kind of caught me off guard, but at the end, I thought, hey, that was kind of nice for him to look out for me like that. So thanks for the show, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Mike, how great is it to still hear good stories about Golden Gate and Cromwell, our favorite places to play.
Right.
And, of course, anybody can have a bad experience at a casino. You get a surly dealer or whatever.
Sure.
But it's so great that we keep getting these consistently good stories about these two properties.
Good cruise is what it is.
Yep.
It's good cruise.
Yep.
And they're obviously run well.
Yeah.
Where they focus on customer service.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if you're losing, or like in this case, when the table gets cold, it's great. I mean, how good does he feel when the guy tells him, hey, why don't you color up, go have a drink, get something to eat, come back later when it's warmer. And, so he's looking out for you and not the casino.
Yeah, exactly.
And in the long run, it benefits the casino.
In the long run, it does benefit the casino.
Because
he's going to come back.
And play.
Right. Exactly.
And they have an edge. We all know they have an edge.
Yep.
We all know it takes a little bit of luck. I mean, conservative play will help us and, doing the most we can. But they still have the edge.
You know what it's like? It's like Miracle on 34th Street, where Santa says, we don't have that toy here, or it's cheaper at another store. Go to Gimbel's, right? Exactly.
And
it's exactly like, from a corporate standpoint, it's like, oh my gosh, but boy,
the
customers
are pulling their hair out.
That's right.
But then when the customer comes back and buys more, I'm going to buy something here because you were so nice. I mean, it's Miracle on 30. Yep. Miracle on
Fremont Street
Boulevard.
All right, we both got it out at about the same time. Okay, one final call.
Hey guys, this is Jeff from Wisconsin, aka the Herminator 07 on Twitter. Love your podcast, and I've got a Royal Flush video poker story for you. I hit my first one back in November of 2014 at Golden Nugget. Playing quarters. That was pretty cool. $1,000. If I never got another one, I was happy at that point. Last summer, downtown Grand, just about this time, July, I was playing Deuces Wild, just playing a few bucks, waiting to go to dinner with my wife. I get dealt a Royal Flush playing Deuces Wild. It just stunned me. I remember staring at the screen for, seemed like an eternity, having it register in my brain. But here's the topper. This past week, not this past week, 2 weeks ago, downtown Grand again, out there with my wife, not doing a lot of gambling on this trip because I'm with her. We're doing other stuff. I'm playing video poker on my last late afternoon there. I play $20 on the quarter machine. Didn't hit anything. I slide down 2 more seats, start playing kind of absent-mindedly, looking for her because we have to get to dinner. I didn't realize the denomination on the machine was set at $1. Well, I'm down to my last spin. I decided to just go ahead and play it out in the dollars. My last spin, I'm holding 2 cards to a royal. I get dealt the royal, $4,000, hand pay. I couldn't
So
believe
sweet.
it. I got a picture on my Twitter account you can see for verification. And I remember I was just stunned. 3 in like 19 months. Who knows? So hang in there, you guys. You never know when it's going to happen. And maybe it'll come in as often as mine have been, as lucky as I've been. So I'm going back next month in August, and I put that $4,000 less taxes already away. I'm not touching that money, but going out with fresh money that I've earned from working, and we'll see if we can't keep the streak going. So love the show. Keep it up, guys, and good luck to you. Take care. Bye.
What a great story.
It's a great story.
You're playing more than you intended.
Right.
It's like, I don't want to play at these stakes.
Why is it
And
always?
then-
It happens when you're doing that, or it happens when you're waiting to go to dinner and you're kind of in a hurry,
Yeah.
right? If you just sit down to play, it's never happening.
That's right, yeah. But you're just like, why am I playing at this level? And then you win at that level. It's like, oh boy.
Well, I'll tell you what Jeff's story tells me. It tells me it's just like the hard ways. You can play all night, no hard ways repeat, and you're sitting there thinking blah blah blah. But in my head, I know they're coming. I know those hard ways are coming. And then one shooter just rolls a boatload of them, and you win for the night.
Yeah.
So what Jeff is saying, just wait. You're eventually going to hit a bunch of royal flushes in a row.
Okay. All right. Well,
I hope it happens before I die.
yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Because if it happens after I die,
That'd be
I won't have
terrible.
experienced it.
Your kid will hit it, and you'll be like, oh!
You'll be a ghost watching him.
Right.
Can't believe this didn't happen to me when I was alive.
You'll bing him on the head.
That's
All of a
right.
sudden his head will
Dad?
twitch.
Okay. Hey, let's talk about the table game 4-card poker. I'm surprised we haven't talked about this before. And
Yeah.
I actually had to go through all the show notes.
Well, when I saw this on here, I'm like, oh, we must have talked about 4-card poker.
No, now we've talked about crazy 4 poker,
Okay.
but not 4-card poker.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about how it works. First of all, let's talk about the hand rankings in 4-card poker. The best hand is 4 of a kind, then a straight flush. So those are kind of reversed compared
Right.
to
Compared to
5-card
regular
poker. Then 3 of a kind.
Which
Then
is way out of order.
Yeah. Then a flush and a straight. So 3 of a kind is higher than both a flush and a straight.
Right.
Then 2 pair, then 1 pair, and then just high card.
Yeah.
So,
well,
so those
and
are
if
the
you
ranks.
think about it, it all makes sense because you only
Yeah.
got 4 cards.
Yeah, because you're only playing with 4 cards. Exactly. So, okay, so how do you play this game? So before the cards are dealt, you make a wager called an ante. And like most of these carnival games, these poker-based carnival games, again, you're not playing against the other players at the table. You're playing against the dealer.
You're playing against the dealer.
So you make this ante wager. Then all the players are dealt 5 cards. 5 cards. Okay. The dealer deals 6 cards to himself, keeping 5 of them down and putting 1 up so that you can see it.
Right.
So all the players have 5 cards. The dealer has 6 cards. Okay. So you look at your cards and you decide whether you're going to fold or raise. And if you fold, you lose your ante bet and the game is over for you. And that's it. Yeah. If you decide you've got a hand that's good enough to stay in, you make a raise bet, at least the amount of the ante bet, and at most 3 times the ante bet. So you can bet anywhere from 1 to 3 times the ante bet as your raise bet.
Okay.
Okay. At this point, you discard one of your cards, so you're just left with 4. You keep your best
Right.
4-card poker hand.
Right.
Then the dealer turns over all his cards and makes his best 4-card hand
Out of the 5 that he had down.
out of the 6 total.
Out of the 6 total.
Yes, so
Okay.
that's the advantage that he has. He's using 6
Yes,
cards.
he used 6
The advantage you have is you can raise,
Right.
up
If
to
you know
3
you have
times.
a winner
You know you have
already.
a really good hand. So,
Right.
okay, if the dealer's hand is higher, you lose your ante and your raise bets. If your hand is higher or equal to the dealer's hand, that's not going to happen very often. But even if it's equal, you win even money on the ante and raise bets. Now, there's a bonus that's paid if you have 3 of a kind or better. Even if the dealer's hand beats yours, this bonus will pay.
Right.
Okay. So the bonus is based on the amount of the ante bet.
Okay, so there's not a separate bet for the bonus. Just
No.
everybody's in for the bonus as long as you've made an ante bet.
As long as you've made a raise bet, you have to still be in the hand.
Right.
But of course,
Well,
if you've
yeah.
got 3 of a kind or better, you're going to be making a raise bet.
Right,
Yes,
sure,
exactly right.
sure.
So 3 of a kind pays 2 to 1 of what you had on the ante.
Okay.
The straight flush pays 20 to 1, and 4 of a kind pays 25 to 1. These pay tables may vary depending on the casino you're at, but this is pretty standard.
Okay.
So you could actually lose your ante and raise bet.
Right. You could have 3 of a kind, and the dealer could make a straight flush.
Right.
And you would lose your bets, but you would win the bonus.
You'd still get the bonus. So if you had $5 on your ante and you had 3 of a kind pays 2 to 1, you get $10. Okay. And if you win the hand, which is more likely, again, you'll get even money on the ante and the raise, plus 2 to 1 of whatever you had in the ante.
In the bonus.
Right.
Now, you know what would be sad is if you had 4 of a kind and lost the hand.
Yeah, which I guess to a higher 4 of a kind,
to a
right?
higher 4
right.
of a kind, right?
Yeah.
Then you'd get 25 to 1
on the ante. So
you'd probably still win for the hand.
Oh, of course.
obviously,
Oh, yeah.
but,
Yeah. It would be pretty unusual. But yeah, you wouldn't be complaining too much.
No,
It'd be a good story, but you still get 25
right.
to 1 or
I
something.
wonder if there's any casino has like a little bonus thing, like if you have 3 of a kind or better and you lose.
Oh, I don't think so. I didn't see anything to that effect, like a bad beat kind of a thing.
Like a bad beat thing.
Yeah. Okay, so a very simple basic strategy on this game is to raise 3 times your ante bet if you have a pair of 10s or higher.
Okay.
Raise just 1 times the ante bet with a pair of deuces through 9s.
All right.
And fold everything else.
Okay. It makes sense.
Yeah, playing this way, there's about a 3.5% house edge.
Yeah.
There are more advanced strategies at the Wizard of Odds webpage, so I'll post a link to that if you want to know a little bit better way to play, but that's a very simple basic strategy. Okay, there is a side bet on the table called Aces Up, where you simply get paid at odds if you end up with a pair of aces or higher, regardless of what hand the dealer has. So on this Aces Up bet, again, it doesn't matter whether his hand beats yours or not. It's just you get paid if you have a pair of aces or better.
Okay.
And here's the interesting thing. If you want, you can only play the Aces Up side bet. You don't have to make the ante bet and play against the dealer. It's a rare instance where at a table game, you can play the side bet. You don't have to play, the quote-unquote main bet.
So I'm assuming that this side bet has a high house edge.
Also around 3%. Yeah, a little over 3%.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I thought that was kind of interesting where if you just, I'm not
Very
interested in
rare does
yeah,
that
you
happen.
don't see that too often. So,
So have we played this?
Mike, we've played Crazy 4 poker.
Right, I
I
know
don't
that.
think we've played this only because I think I would have remembered discarding a card.
Right, yeah.
Which I
See,
think is what makes the game fun for players is, you're looking at 5 different cards and you find the 4 cards and then you discard one. I don't remember ever doing that. That would have stuck out, I think, if we had played
It
this.
seems like it's not that now that I think about it, I don't think I have either because
Yeah.
I don't ever remember discarding.
Yeah.
But it seems like it might not be that interesting because the card you're going to discard is obviously, like the 2 of hearts or something, and you've got, you're going to discard your lowest card that doesn't fit a flush, a straight.
Well, sure. I mean, it should be pretty obvious what you're going to get rid of. Yeah,
Right.
of course. Yeah.
So that's like a no-brainer.
Well, I know what you're saying. It's a no-brainer, but look at Baccarat, right? I mean, talk about a no-brainer. All you're doing is making a bet, right?
yeah.
And that's extremely popular.
Roulette.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we should try playing this just, a few times. I don't know if they've got it by us or not. I don't think so. I don't think I've seen it there. But maybe we're in Vegas next time. I think that aspect of, here are my 5 cards. Here's the one I'm going to get rid of,
Right.
makes it fun. So,
Well, okay. I know where this is going. We're going to sit down at this table. We're going to play about 4 hands. I'm going to complain like crazy.
Yeah, and
I want to go play craps.
right. And you're going to keep increasing your bet
Right.
every hand
Every hand,
because
'cause
you're
I'm
not
gonna-
getting enough action.
Well, because I'm going to say I'm going to bet $200 here, and when it's gone, I'm leaving. And after like the second hand of $25, then I'm going to be okay. I'm going to put all the rest out there.
Yeah, this sounds pretty standard.
Yeah,
this,
that's it. And
I
then
think
we're
I've
gonna
seen
go
you do
play
that before. All right, well, folks, if we'll probably be out there for Vimp, so if somebody wants to play some 4-card poker, I'll sit down with you and play some 4-card poker.
Mark will. He'll sit there and suffer through it.
No, I won't suffer through it. I'll just order a bunch of beers and have some fun.
Yeah, now if you're drunk, this is probably a fun game.
Yeah, well, if you're drunk, you might mess up your hand, though. You got rid of trips.
How can you mess up?
Well, you're not paying attention. You're thinking,
the wrong card
all I've got is a pair, and you keep a pair, and it turns out you would have had a flush, right? You should have gotten broken up your pair and played your flush instead,
now,
right?
Can you have the dealer set your hand? Did you read anything about that?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question.
You know how somebody who
probably
maybe
because
not a real poker player.
Yeah.
Could they just say, set my hand?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. I didn't see anything
Some
to that
house
effect.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
what about talking amongst players?
I don't think that matters
Because you're already dealt your cards. There's no draw.
There's no draw, and I can't think of an example hand where there's always got to be a right way to play, right? Am I missing something? There would never be a case where, instead of this, I'm going to play this, because you're going to play your highest hand.
It's at the highest hand. It's not like Pai Gow where sometimes you might play 2 bear behind and ace queen on top versus pair.
I don't know, and I'll tell you, when you look at some of these advanced strategies, again on the Wizard of Odds page, some of these advanced strategies take into account the card the dealer is showing.
Right, because that does change. That's obviously why they show
that
it.
Can have. So I guess based on that, they probably wouldn't let you talk amongst yourselves. But again, every hand pretty much plays itself. I can't think of an example
they
where
probably wouldn't let you, because let's say the dealer card showing was a queen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you had a pair of queens.
Okay.
If you told the guy next to you, "Hey, I've got a pair of queens," and there's a queen up there,
right?
You could assume the dealer probably doesn't have
that case queen. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. You might increase your bet triple, thinking, okay, I'm going to beat him.
Well, yeah, but I think all you're saying is that the chance of the dealer having a pair of queens is a lot lower, so the chances of him having nothing are higher.
But he probably has something less than queens.
Yeah.
So you would, triple your bet instead of double it. So
yeah, I see. But that's probably why you wouldn't like
no talking.
So anyway, 4-card poker. There you go.
All right. I'm not happy with it, but there it is.
Here's the thing. No matter how good a table game is, Dr. Mike can handle maybe 20 minutes at it before he's itching to get over the craps table, if there is a craps table nearby.
It has to be something intriguing. It has to intrigue.
Like what? Like Pai Gow poker?
Maybe. I do enjoy Pai Gow. You've seen me play tons of Pai Gow.
Well, the reason I've seen you play tons of Pai Gow is because there was no craps table there. That's right, in the olden days.
But I do enjoy Pai Gow because there is a little bit of thought to it.
Yeah. There is a case where, the hands don't necessarily play themselves, right? You have to decide, do I break up a pair? Do I break up a flush? That kind of thing.
The idea that, did I go the right way? Did I not go the right way? It's not like, should I have bet 12 red?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't think that. Whoever thinks, oh God, why did I bet 12 red after, 13 black comes up, right?
That's right. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some PayPal donations. First off, Will, thanks very much for the donation. Also, Adam, a.k.a. Vegas Fanboy, he says, to be used in your pursuit of the royal. We've got kind of a competition going with him. Who's going to hit a royal first? It'll be him.
Oh, it'll be him. I guarantee it.
He says, thanks again for the great show. A little karma for my trip this weekend. Yeah, he's here. We're recording a little bit earlier this week, but he went to Vegas this weekend. So hopefully that karma donation worked for him. And finally, Patrick, thanks for the donation. He is now a bona fide craps player, thanks to our show. He said in the past he'd only played it a little bit, but after hearing our show, he's playing quite a bit more along with his friends. So
I hope it's working out for him.
Sounds like it is, or at least they're having fun doing it.
Having fun. Yeah. And I think it's the most fun of all the games.
Yeah, well, it's very
besides
exciting.
4-card poker,
sure,
which is
that's a
very
given. Yeah, that's a given. You didn't need to qualify it with that. Yeah. Hey, be sure to check out our TV listings showing all the gambling related shows coming up within the next 2 weeks. We update those listings every Wednesday using a customized program to search through all the raw American TV data. Just go to our webpage, youcanbetonthat.com, and click on the link at the top that says TV listings. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS. Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. Also, follow us on Twitter at youcanbetonThat. We tweet when we're heading to a casino, and we'd love to meet up with you. Like us on Facebook at facebook.com/youcanbetonThat. And finally, head on over to iTunes and write a review on us. When you do, it helps us get new listeners. So like I said, we're recording a little earlier this week. We're still going to post on Thursday, but it's mainly because Comic-Con is coming
Right,
up.
because you're going to Comic-Con.
I'm going to Comic-Con, right? So the only panel that I saw that was related to our show at all was the Sharknado 4 panel.
Okay.
Because in the next Sharknado, the Sharknado is going to hit Las Vegas.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I'm going to try to go to that panel.
How does the Sharknado get there?
Well, it's a tornado
Right.
that's over the ocean, and it captures all the sharks up in it,
Right.
and then it moves inland, and then all the sharks
Skips everything till it gets to Vegas?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the Sharknado will start by Hoover Dam, and somehow there are sharks in Lake Mead.
Right.
I don't know. There's
They've been implanted there by, I don't know, the Black Spy from Spy vs. Spy. Is that it?
maybe I've struggled with the logistics of a Sharknado, having watched the first 3 movies. So I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm not sure how they're going to explain
I'm
it,
sure
Mike.
the director will figure it out.
Yeah, I think
there's some logical explanation.
They've got it all figured out. So I'm definitely going to go to that panel. But anyway, going to have fun there. I'm not going to go. You were talking about the Star Trek panel. Right. I'm not going to go to a Hall H panel this year because I just don't want to stand in those lines.
The
lines
are too long.
Yeah.
Did I mention Jerry Ryan's?
I think you mentioned on that last episode. Yes, she is going to be in that panel, but I don't think I'm going to. I was surprised there was no Star Wars Rogue One panel of any kind either. They're not.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. That doesn't come out for a while.
Well, in December, and last year. Well, I mean, it's not as big a movie as Episode 7, of course, but I thought there would have been something here. But anyway, looking forward to Comic-Con, so we're going this
should
weekend.
Be good.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about Comic-Con really this year is that you don't go to the casino on Friday night because you're at Comic-Con.
Oh, that's right.
So I'll be there by myself.
Okay.
I'll look weird when I'm yelling and screaming and acting stupid by myself. People think, what's that guy's problem? But I'm just going to assume you're next to me.
Okay.
So,
Or thanks,
I
guess.
Yeah, I'll just be there.
All right, you think you'll do okay without me there?
Well, I think I'll make it. I mean, I don't know how well I'll do.
Oh, you think you'll make the drive up there? What you're saying? You're just not sure. Okay.
Home. Yeah, I don't know how it'll go while I'm there.
All right. Well, very good. Well, good luck to you, Dr.
My dad
Mike.
said he wasn't even going.
Why?
Well, he's going on Saturday with my brother and Sunday, and so he thought 3 nights would be too much for him. He's getting old.
Well, and doggone it, he misses out on all the good luck we have. He was not playing with us when you had that big comeback, so he ended up losing for the night.
He was sitting there watching, which is even worse.
He's sitting there watching, tired.
Yes. So he said he's not going, but I'm going to try and talk him into going.
Okay, good.
I need somebody to... I mean, even if it's my dad ragging at me the whole way, I need something.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Right?
Good. All right. Good luck to you, Dr. Mike. All right. Thanks for listening.
Good night.